What if you hypothetically consumed every piece of media One Piece has to offer in chronological order? How many items would be on that list? What amount of them are even worth interacting with? How close can we get to a cohesive storyline when considering everything? What the hell is the point? Let's find out. Before that though, just want to say for this guide, you'll be watching the anime and reading the manga simultaneously. So if you watch a few episodes of the anime, you'll then read the chapters those episodes covered, or vice versa, whichever order you like. Also, this guide is assuming you're reading the volumes, i.e. reading the SBS answers in each of them, as well as witnessing the volume covers and anything else they have to offer. Also, I'm blacklisting soundtracks from the anime and games because we'll have already heard them once, and I'm saving the character songs for last, but if you would like to listen to them chronologically, you're free to do so. Same thing goes with mobile games not in operation anymore and collected editions, since they're just the same stuff we'll be reading already. Oh, and one more thing, if you don't care about this video at all and would just like to see a list compiling everything together, I color-coded and categorized everything we'll be seeing in chronological order in a Google Doc in the comments below. Anyway, let us begin our 27-year and counting journey. We start our journey not on Chapter 1, but the precursor to One Piece, titled Romance Dawn. Upon completing version 1, do not watch the OVA adaptation titled One Piece Romance Dawn Story. I will explain why later. Next up, we have the second manga iteration, similarly titled Romance Dawn version 2, and only recently in 2019 did this receive an anime adaptation in the form of episode 907. Watch that now. Or when episode 907 rolls around, your choice. Anyway, congratulations, you've officially reached the starting line for One Piece. Firstly, you are to read up to chapter 21 in episode 8. This will bring you to the end of the Orangetown arc, as well as the perfect point for the OVA titled One Piece Defeat Him the Pirate Gonzak to take place. What's interesting about this one is that it actually predates Toei's adaptation, so this is rare footage of what One Piece would look like if it was done by a different studio, this one being Production IG. Also, they don't have two boats here like they did in episode 8, but you'll just have to suspend your disbelief and look past that. The OVA's 30 minutes just flew by, so fast in fact that you can't get enough of this Gonzak guy. So you decide to read the novel of the exact same name by Tatsuya Hamazaki, adapting the OVA. Continuing into the canon, enter and finish the Syrup Village arc, that being to chapter 41 in episode 17. This brings you to One Piece's first movie, simply titled One Piece the Movie, claiming the second main interruption of the One Piece story. After that wonderful experience, you're next able to read all the way to chapter 100 in episode 53 of the anime. In between, there's an arc called Buggy's Crew Adventure Chronicles, covering episodes 46 and 47, adapting the cover story. Before moving ahead though, we're also going to pick up a novel by the name of One Piece Logtown Arc. A novel retelling of, you guessed it, the Logtown Arc. This one's also by Tatsuya Hamazaki. Actually, most of them are, so you can probably just assume that they're made by him unless I state otherwise. Also, the anime adapts a lot from this book, so manga readers should definitely check out either this or the anime's adaptation here. After some reading, it's time for some gaming. Get your Wonder Swan out and pop in the very first One Piece video game, known as One Piece Become the Pirate King, a turn-based strategy game loosely adapting the East Blue Saga as well as the first movie. Don't continue reading the main story yet though, because next up we've got an anime special under the name of Luffy Falls Adventure in the Uncharted Oceans Naval, or Toei USA's localized name, Luffy's Adventure at the Bottom of the Ocean. Like this one, in the world of non-canon, the Straw Hats embarked on quite a few different journeys before Reverse Mountain, and that train is not at its final destination yet. Next up, Mirror Ball Island, where we have a 5-minute short titled Django's Dance Carnival. After that, we arrive at the Clockwork Island, just in time for the second One Piece movie, Clockwork Island Adventure. Also, coexisting alongside the film is the Clockwork Island Adventure novel. Alright, from here I'll have you continue the canon into Reverse Mountain. This will bring us to chapter 101, so literally just one chapter, and more importantly to episode 61. On the way in the anime, we'll be passing the Warship Island filler arc, which actually seamlessly leads into Reverse Mountain during the arc. Once you finish that, you can read the novel adaptation in One Piece Legend of the Thousand-Year Dragon. At least I think it's a recap. I don't know for sure. Anyway, read that, and then we're in for yet another East Blue recap in the form of the Game Boy Color game, One Piece Birth of Luffy's Dream Pirate Crew. Next up, behold, One Piece for the Game Boy Advance. Ooh, a game with the same name as the manga? That is bold. What does this game entail? What could it possibly be about? It loosely adapts the entire East Blue Saga, chronicling the adventures of the first 5 Straw Hat Pirates and their ultimate voyage for the Grand Line. I knew it. Yeah, we got another recap. Alright, you may finally continue with the main story, but only up to chapter 114 and episode 69, because that point marks the end of the Whiskey Peak arc, and that's the exact place in the story the WonderSwan game One Piece Grand Battle reaches story-wise. Also, episodes 68 and 69 adapt the Diary of Kobe Meppo cover story. After completing the East Blue arc for the 1000th time, we are yet again returning for one last look back with the first issue of One Piece Color Walk, which are compilations of color spreads, these ones being from the first 100 chapters. We'll then read up to chapter 155 in episode 91, since that's what the One Piece animation logbook covers. Quoted from fandom, One Piece animation logbook is an art book full of screenshots, drawings, and images from the One Piece anime series. It also contains character guides, story digests, animator design drawings, and staff interviews. End quote. Well, can you guess what we're doing next? If you guessed going back to the East Blue for a what if Logtown went differently scenario, then you'd be spot on! It's a PS1 game called One Piece Set Sail Pirate Crew. The reason it's here is because there's some Alabasta elements. Coincidentally, this is also where the One Piece Game Boy Color game One Piece Grand Line Dream Adventure log ends. After that, we'll be simply dipping our toes into the Alabasta arc for chronological correctness. So literally only watch one more episode and read one more chapter. This point being where the Straw Hats meet Bon Clay. This is important because in the next entry in anime short, Luffy will dream up a fun little scenario, and a character in said scenario will be none other than Bon Clay. Also important, upon waking up, Vivi can be seen on the Mary, leaving us with a very specific time frame this takes place. After Luffy meets Bon Clay, but before Vivi leaves the ship, landing us right here. Like Movie 2, Movie 3 has a bonus short attached to it called Dream Soccer King, and the crew plays soccer. Hey guys, Editing Kev here. I was just watching the special because it sounded so wacky, and in reality they don't even play soccer. They just shoot the ball at the net and Kobe's in the net every time, and he's just getting abused by these OP-ass characters. There's some moment here where Chopper comes up and Kobe's face, he's like, oh, thank God it's just Chopper. And then he goes into Human Point and just destroys him. Oh yeah, and then Sanji kicks the ball around the fucking world. This special is top tier. Anyone who's a One Piece fan needs to watch this. Anyway, back to the show. In succession, we'll be continuing One Piece proper until episode 129 and chapter 216. Here we'll be going back to Logtown. No. Just let it end, please. One Piece Legend of the Rainbow Island is the name and RPG is the game. Similar deal as the last game, but this time it may as well be a completely original story taking place between Logtown and the Alabasta arc. You'll next complete the Alabasta arc in game form. A wild One Piece Grand Battle 2 appears. While we're here, grab your WonderSwan and insert One Piece Grand Battle Swan Coliseum, which exists as a handheld spin-off game for the One Piece Grand Battle series. On that same note, we also have One Piece Treasure Wars, which is apparently a 2-player WonderSwan board game, I think. After successfully winning your reward of 100 million berries in the Treasure Wars, the first data book is upon us. One Piece Red Grand Characters is composed of almost solely bonus character data and information you otherwise wouldn't know. For example, Nami has a facility rank of 4. What? Once that finishes, we can move on to the actual film. One Piece, Chopper's Kingdom on the Island of Strange Animals, as well as Tatsuya's novel adaptation. Continuity-wise, I think this is the best place for this game right here. Enter One Piece, Great Hidden Treasure of the Nanatsu Islands. I don't know why to the voice, this game sounds boring as hell. They get shipwrecked on an island and fight a crew calling themselves the Simon Pirates. And they leave. The reason I did not make you finish the official end to the Alabasta arc of chapter 217 is because Robin wasn't revealed to be on the Going Merry yet in that chapter, and she's nowhere to be seen in movie 3. This leads to my rather unhinged headcanon that she was actually hiding on the ship for a good few days before revealing herself to the crew. What's even more hilarious is they enter the cabin during movie 3, so she would have to hide during those moments, all for the sake of a little trolling. Now read chapter 217 and watch episode 130. Now that's Alabasta is officially over, we're gonna hop into the anime exclusively and view episodes 131 to 135 for the Post-Alabasta arc, where the Straw Hats reaffirm their dreams and reconvene with themselves. But who am I kidding? The main reason you'd watch these is for the payoff at 135 with the best character's introduction. Wicked Dick! Next up, I'll be interrupting the concurrent filler arcs to bring you a death race. One Piece Movie 4 Dead End Adventure is here, along with the novel adaptation and the first two-part series compiling the movie screenshots into a comic format with the same name is up next. Oh yeah, and guess what? Drake and his crew are seen pursuing the Straw Hat to the end of this movie, and that plot is directly continued at the beginning of the next movie, confirming the two take place right after each other. Meaning, it's now Zoro's time to shine with One Piece Movie 5, The Cursed Holy Sword, along with the usual shorts attached to it named Take Aim, the Pirate Baseball King. Oh, as well as the previous movies, there's the novel adaptation of the film and also the anime comic adaptation like we have with movie 4. Now you may continue the anime 8 episodes further for the Goat Island filler arc, that's 136 to 138, which contains probably the smartest Marine I've ever seen.
I'm not messing with anyone who can take Crocodile out. I don't care how many men we have.
But Sergeant!
Hey, Crocodile was one of the 7 warlords. We're just Marines. If we have to fight those Straw Hats, there's only one way it'll end for us.
On top of that, another filler, that's the Rainbow Mist arc, episodes 139 to 143. Also, there's yet another board game to play, this time released for the Game Boy Advance. This one's titled One Piece, Aim, the King of Berry. After finishing that, you may continue with the main storyline to chapter 240 and episode 154. Once reaching this checkpoint, you will now read through One Piece Blue Grand Data File, which acts as the second data book. This one's scope is far larger than the last, indexing virtually every character, devil fruit, island, and animal introduced thus far. This part here is important. I want you to read until chapter 302 and watch to episode 194. And be sure not to read the manga any further. At this point, if you're not watching the anime alongside it already, please watch from episodes 195 to 206, because of the best filler arc in any anime ever, the G8 arc. After escaping G8, there's the second One Piece color walk to admire, as well as 2 party games. First, we have One Piece Treasure Battle for the GameCube, housing a bunch of different One Piece minigames, and secondly, I present One Piece Treasure Wars 2, Welcome to Buggyland, which is just another board game anyway. Proceeding, we have the first Skypiea recap in the form of One Piece Grand Battle 3, this time for the GameCube. I said first, but don't worry, I won't be barraging you with recaps like East Blue. Though, there is another game that takes place directly after Skypiea continuity-wise. It's called One Piece Going Baseball, which, you guessed it, is a game about the One Piece characters playing baseball. Woo! We've got one more game around this point, and the name is One Piece Round the Land, which is kind of a recap. It lets you re-experience the story up until this point, but it does still have its own standalone plot. Following that, our final entry for the Wonder Swan color is upon us, in Chopper's Big Adventure. Still sailing to the next destination, the Straw Hats receive an invitation to an island resort, which they gladly take. Initiating the 6th One Piece movie, Baron Omatsuri and the Secret Island. Also, the novel as usual. Finally returning to the canon, finish the Long Ring Longland arc, but only in the anime. So to episode 219. We're not doing the manga yet because the anime flips some things around, majorly making Aokiji appear a bit later, as well as messing up the continuity for the next special if we would continue. Speaking of, let's tackle that now. It's called Once Upon the Great Sea, A Father's Huge Dream, which acts as a prequel to an anime filler arc titled Ocean's Dream we'll be getting to in a sec. While we're on the topic of Ocean's Dream still, let's watch up to the end of that anime arc we prequeled with that special just now. So watch the anime till finishing episode 224, which is loosely based on a PS1 game by the name of One Piece Ocean's Dream. You can play the game now if you'd like, though the filler arc roughly covers what the game does anyway. Speaking of things that cover what the other things cover, there's the game for the GBA titled One Piece Dragon Dream, a recap of the Ocean's Dream video game, but it's been expanded upon to the reaches of the Long Ring Longland arc this time. Yay! Okay, seriously though, why the hell has the story been remade like 5 times? Next, we're doing special episode 3, in the name of Protect the Last Great Performance, or Save the Last Big Stage by Toei USA. Finally, the giant mechanical soldier of Karakuri Island, aka One Piece Movie 7, is upon us. I personally haven't seen this one yet, but it sounds pretty baller. It apparently elucidates how Luffy developed Gear 2nd and even shows Usopp working on the perfect climate act. As always, there's the novel to read afterward, or before I guess, whichever you'd prefer. Apparently there's also a 352-page one-shot on this this story, but I for the life of me cannot find any proof of this besides what's on the Wikipedia, so good luck finding that one. Another special episode is next. We're at number 4 now. This time we are documenting End of Year Special Project, the detective memoirs of Chief Straw Hat Luffy, or the, in my opinion, far better name, One Piece historical drama series, Luffy's detective story. This one's that random 19th century Japan alternate timeline episode. Episode 225 to 228 will cover the Foxy's return arc. Look what I got you for Christmas! Look what I got you for Christmas! More Foxy! What do you mean you don't want it? You're gonna take it! Next, you're to read all the way to chapter 441 in episode 335, which will sandwich you right between the post-Enies lobby arc and the Thriller Bark arc. For manga onlys, there's the Ice Hunter filler arc from chapter 326 to 335, then stop to read One Piece Color Walk 3 Lion. Once reaching them, it's time for another One Piece Grand Battle game, this time a direct sequel to the third installment, One Piece Grand Battle Rush. Here we'll be experiencing both the PS2 fighting game, Fighting for One Piece, and finally, One Piece Pirates Carnival, also for the PS2. Next, let me bring up One Piece Grand Adventure, an American follow-up to the Grand Battle series released for the PS2. Ready for an Alabasta recap? I hope so, because that's what Movie 8, aka episode of Alabasta the Desert Princess and the Pirates is all about. Novel check, one-shot check, though I cannot find any definitive proof that this exists still. Now it's time to get super wacky as we enter into 2007 with the One Piece premiere show. Not only that, but we've got a bunch of children's books published by Scholastic to get through, so here's a quick rapid fire of all those. King of the Pirates, The Circus Comes to Town, Tall Tales, Pirates Attack, and Recipe for Disaster. Here we have the next data book. One Piece Yellow Grand Elements completes the Straw Hats cast logs that were started in the One Piece Red data book. Following that read through, I hope you've got the Wii, because we're playing One Piece Unlimited Adventure, the very first of its kind, not only in the respect of the Wii, but also accounting for the first game to be released after Funimation acquired the localization rights. That's right, up to this point, we were dealing with 4 kids localized games. What? Okay, I was doing some research on this game, and I happened upon the trivia section, and apparently, we haven't received a dubbed version by Funimation since this game. This game came out in 2007! And we've never received one since! What? Luckily, this game does have its own unique story and isn't a recap. Unfortunately, I can't say the same for the next entry in One Piece Gear Spirit, which is basically just another fighting game with no real story. Way more boring this time, too. Just a fighting game for the DS. Wait, what? Why did I write that twice? Anyway, One Piece Rainbow is next, which surprisingly isn't a data book, but is the second animation art book, containing an episode guide, information on the main characters, voice actors, music, and sketches. Following that, we have One Piece Grand Paper Adventure, a pop-up book illustrating famous scenes from the series up to the Enies lobby arc. While we're reading One Piece's supplementary books, why not throw in One Piece 10th Treasures, a collector's book released to celebrate One Piece's 10th anniversary. In this one, we have the Dragon Ball X One Piece crossover, as well as many sketches of the One Piece characters done by other manga artists in their style. Now that we have all that fluff out of the way, the horror descends as we enter the dark. So prepare yourselves for Thriller Bark. Why'd I start rhyming? Am I going insane? I should note though, before interacting with Thriller Bark in the slightest, read Oda's one-shot, Monsters. This ties in directly to Thriller Bark and is considered canon. Also, if you're watching this video in the future, there may be a Monsters anime adaptation out, so check if that's available as well. Completing the spooky Thriller Bark arc will take you up to chapter 489 in episode 381. Now, Brook has officially joined and we return to the seas once more for the non-canon, with the Spa Island filler arc covering episodes 382 to 384, where a fan favorite character, or at least that's what Toei thinks, reappears. His name is Foxy. Why is he back? He's only been in the manga once so far. In any case, it's time to indulge in all the goodness that is movie 10, also known as Strong World. To begin, we travel all the way back in time 20 to 25 years ago to experience the Ed War with Shiki in the form of One Piece Chapter 0. An anime adaptation was also made by the name of One Piece Film Strong World Episode 0. Wow, that name sucks. Once you finish that, we've got something interesting to do. For the sake of continuity, don't read or watch ahead yet, but rather temporarily skip to episode 426 and watch to episode 429. This is the Little East Blue arc, an anime tie-in intended to be witnessed before the Straw Hats encounter the Golden Lion. Anyway, it's Strong World time. Upon completion, there's a volume called One Piece Volume 0 to read. Within its 85 pages, there's a bunch of behind-the-scenes information, a director's note, and more. Speaking of behind-the-scenes, there's also the One Piece film Strong World Eiichiro Oda art book. This one features concept sketches for the film, as well as an interview with the artist. Finally, we have the last bit of extra content for Strong World. I don't know what this is. In my script, I literally put, am I supposed to put something here? And then in brackets, I think it was the novel. So I guess just read the novel here. Remember those anime screenshot issues that were basically recaps of the movie? Strong World has this as well, so pick one of those up. Remember back during the beginning of this video how I told you not to watch the adaptation of Oda's first one-shot, Romance Dawn's Story? Well, that's because this one-shot was adapted in 2008, and as such integrated the 9 members of the Straw Hat crew present at the time, as opposed to the original story's East Blue few. It's time for the Nintendo Wii yet again, baby! One Piece Unlimited Cruise Episode 1 and 2 exist as their own stories, so that's a huge plus. Looks like the developers are starting to realize recaps kinda suck. Yay! Directly after that, watch Movie 11, Straw Hat Chase. You know, that one 3D movie hardly anyone knows about, which I'm not even sure how it's classified as a movie. It's only 30 minutes long. Tatsuya still did a novel on this one though, with the same name as the film as always. Not only that, but there's also One Piece 3D Trap Coaster, a 12-minute short played across limited theaters in Japan. Now it's simply available on YouTube though. Before I continue, I just want to highlight how silly this one is. I quote from the wiki, one of the Marine's most intelligent captains, Captain Trap. Then, later in the wiki, we have this quote, the Marine officer asks why Trap does not simply put them in prison from the beginning, but Trap thinks that is too boring. One of the most intelligent Marine captains, 1, doesn't immediately put them in prison, and 2, uses the government's funds to build a giant tower, which 3, they can escape from? Love it. Before continuing the main story, watch episode 1 of Toriko. No, I'm not kidding. This is a collaboration One Piece and Toriko had where One Piece celebrated Toriko's anime by having the One Piece characters find Toriko on his island. But in any case, watch episode 1 of Toriko and then episode 492 of the One Piece anime, because they are connected. Returning to the canon at last, read to chapter 524 and watch to episode 421, bringing you to around the end of the Amazon Lily arc. Why are we stopping here though? Well, I thought since Ace's role in the story is reaching its apex, I may as well throw in some backstory for him here. So now I want you to read the Ace light novel, chronicling the beginning of Ace's pirate crew, his eating of the Mera Nomi, as well as the Spade Pirates' complete and utter defeat by Whitebeard, who integrates them onto the Yonko crew. Also, the author of Dr. Stone, Boichi, illustrated this novel in One Piece Episode A. It's like our own little flashback arc. Right back to the canon, read to chapter 581 in episode 491. After Luffy attains his harem on Amazon Lily, he upstarts a prison break in the most maximum security prison in the world, leads a charge into one of the most important conflicts in the world, aka the War of the Best, and was unfortunately unsuccessful in his venture to rescue Ace, having to witness his brother die in his arms. Woo! Oh god, I think we all need some reminiscing after that. So, let's look back on the good times with One Piece Color Walk 4, Eagle, which documents Oda's wonderful color panels between chapter 287 and 391. Once that's done, it's time to complete the post-war, that arc being to chapter 597 and episode 516. Alright, following that, we've got the recap to end all recaps. Well, I know that's a lie, but I can hope. One Piece Pirate Warriors takes the stage. This PS3 game contains the contents of the very beginning of the story, chapter 1, all the way to chapter, well, where we are right now, post-war. Super Kabuki 2, One Piece, is another way to look at the story up to the Marineford arc. As you can guess, it's a retelling of the story up to this point, but in the style of a Japanese Kabuki play. Up next is a game for the DS, One Piece Gigant Battle. It's not a recap, but it does have the most bare-bones plot imaginable. It's a tournament. Sorry for all the recaps one after the other here, but here's another one up to this point with the PSP game, One Piece Romance Dawn. I guess when I said the recap to end all recaps, like 3 other games did it. So I guess it's not very special in that regard. 3D2Y, Overcome Ace's Death, Luffy's Vow to His Friends is our next special entry to round off the surprisingly bare-bones space in between the time skip. Also, there's the novel adapting this, but that's pretty much it. I thought there'd be way more in between the time skip, but I guess not, so let's continue. Alright, now read to chapter 602 and episode 522. The Straw Hats pirates have at last reconvened after 2 years of hiatus. Now stronger than ever, set sail for the New World, with our first stop being Fishman Island. In episode 522, it actually shows this scene of them setting off, but we're gonna take a slight step back for the episode of Nami's special, which technically takes place right before they leave, since the whole thing is actually Nami reminiscing while still in Sabaodi's waters. In between their journey, we can read the 4th data book, One Piece Green Secret Pieces, covering some info on Oda's creative process and even a small Straw Hat Theater section. What? What do you mean you don't know what that is? Someone didn't read the data books. Go back. I'm kidding, I'll mention those later. Next up, you're reading the 5th installment of the Color Walk series, One Piece Color Walk 5. Shark, which illustrates Oda's various color pieces from volumes 40 to 50, as well as some extra sketches as usual. Continuing down the pipeline, we have One Piece Strong Words, a set of 2 books documenting quotes from the One Piece story, with analysis and commentary by Tatsuru Ushida, a Japanese essayist, literary researcher, and a professor at Kobe College. Alright, after all that, continue and complete Fishman Island. Almost. Read to chapter 653 and watch to episode 573. Here, we're going to pop in the cartridge for the sequel of One Piece Gigant Battle, covering material around and up to the Fishman Island arc. Random question, but do you enjoy cooking by any chance? If so, you're going to love the next one. The first One Piece cookbook, One Piece Kaizoku character lunchbook, flower and bee book. What is that name? I say cookbook, but it's more of a lunchbox slash bento kit, with some recipes attached. Don't you worry though, we'll get to the actual cookbook soon. What is yet though, is you buying that plane ticket to Japan to bear witness to One Piece pirate sweeping operation at Universal Studios. Don't actually do that, they only did this from like 2012 to 2013. I bet you can find it somewhere though. Good luck. Seriously though, good luck. It's not on YouTube. Alright, after the show, literally read 1 chapter but watch to episode 579. So it'll be like the chapter ends with them about to enter the new world, but not having it quite shown yet, so we can put some non-canon things in between. You might have to suspend your disbelief just a tad on this one, because I think either the chapter or the episode actually shows what's next, but ignore that for now. Because the Z's Ambition filler arc, which you can probably guess is a tie-in to Film Z, is upon us. Chapter 654, on the other hand, ends with the Straw Hats just landing in the new world. There's one little line of dialogue and background flames you're gonna have to ignore, which is Sanji and Zoro talking about the ocean being on fire because they're so close to Punk Hazard. Anyway, after the Z's Ambition filler, you're gonna want to head over to watch episode of Merry Tale of One More Friend. Why here specifically? Well, like the other flashback specials, this one has a few scenes preluding to the whole story of the Going Merry. We know it takes place specifically right before the Glorious Island specials, which I'll get to in a sec, because we literally see Nami changing out of her dress, which she was wearing during the Z's Ambition filler, and deciding on which swimsuit to wear, with her ultimately choosing the rainbow one, which we see her wearing during the following specials. The Glorious Island specials are a 2-part 10-minute extra bit of fun content you can luckily find on YouTube. At last, I know you've been scratching your neck, itching to do so now you can finally press play on Film Z. Upon completion, this also has an extra volume attached to it with some goodies inside. This one being volume 1000, Z. Also similar to the previous films, Tatsuya's back with a novel adaptation, airing the same day as Film Z as episode of Luffy, Adventure on Hand Island. Be real with me here, am I dumb for not realizing this is not just a recap? For some reason, my brain never processed the whole Adventure on Hand Island bit, so I've always just assumed it was a recap and skipped it. Anyway, yeah, this is a whole special with its own plot to enjoy, as well as, yes, some flashbacks. Fun fact, this is the first time in the anime we're seeing the story of how Luffy got the scar under his eye. Following that is One Piece Adventure in Nebulandia, where everyone's favorite character makes his appearance for the upteenth time in the anime. It's Foxy! Why? Okay. I love how stupidly convoluted the continuity becomes for this arc. Let me quote the wiki's trivia section here real quick. The special ignores the events added to the anime version of the Long Ring Longland arc, and the entirety of the Foxy's Return arc, and the Spa Island arc, as the Straw Hats only refer to Chopper being taken as a member of Foxy's crew, and Frankie is not aware of Foxy's Devil Fruit. Additionally, this contradicts Frankie showing some knowledge of the Davy Back fight in episode 326, meaning this special also entirely ignored the events of the Ice Hunter arc. Toei, for the love of God, follow your own Shit! With Zephyr and Foxy, I guess, defeated, let's take a break from storylines and jump into some more supplementary content. One Piece Blue Deep, Characters World, which you can definitely guess is focusing on the characters in One Piece. 321 of them, in fact. Next up is One Piece White, a little bit of a misleading name, especially when it's back-to-back with One Piece Blue, but this is the third animation guide to One Piece. While we're here, check out One Piece Color Walk 6 Gorilla, which covers the color pages from the Sabaody archipelago to the post-war, and also some stuff from Volume 0. Now, the moment everyone's been waiting for the past, I don't know, like a minute and a half maybe. Sanji's Cookbook! One Piece Recipes, Sanji's Gut Stuffers is the full title, and inside we've got a full feast of 96 pages worth of dishes seen in the One Piece story. Alright, I joked about it earlier, but if you haven't been reading the data books, this is when you should read the entirety of the Straw Hats Theater comic series. What it is the result of Oda being told by his editor to draw anything, when presented with 3 blank sheets of paper, over the course of 7 years. I mentioned the data books, but they were mainly published as bonus content packaged alongside the One Piece Complete Edition, which I've blacklisted from this video. Speaking of, you can actually pick up a digital-only volume titled Straw Hat Grand Theater, which conveniently compiles all of them into one place. The first 5 chapters of the Straw Hat Theater were adapted into a mini-series of the same name that aired alongside episodes 279 to 283. Before even that, Chopper Man received its own adaptation as a filler on episode 267. Editing Kev here. I actually don't know why I said that. That is the wrong episode. It's actually 336, but while I was actually recording the footage for this, I got a funny clip, so here it is.
Wow, Usadaba sure has spirit, but Chopper Man not so much. Is something wrong?
Maybe Chopper Man got a bad grade on a math quiz and he's feeling down. I know that always used to bum me out.
I'm singling out Chopper Man specifically because it transcended the 2D realm as a stage show, performed limitedly from 2012 to 2013. We're sailing backwards in time next to the 9th One Piece film episode of Chopper plus Bloom into Winter, Miracle Sakura. That's the entire name. Wow, okay. It's a recap movie of the Drum Island arc, but with a twist. The reason we're doing this movie right now is because a special edition of this movie was made which includes scenes from the New World, just around this point, that technically make this movie fit into the canon just fine. Make sure you watch the 2014 special edition though, or there's less of a point in watching it now. Besides the film, there's also the novel As Per the Pattern, and also a one-shot which has eluded me yet again. Though at this point, I guess that's to be expected from these one-shot adaptations. In a similar vein to what I did with the Ace novel, I'm gonna place the Law novel right here, since Law is about to become a very pivotal character in the following arcs. Like Ace's novel, this one explains a large portion of Law's history we otherwise wouldn't know, like his formation of his crew. Okay, now you may finally continue into Punk Hazard, until its completion at chapter 699 and episode 628. Oh yeah, for anyone wondering, the anime had a 3-episode filler right here titled The Caesar Retrieval Arc, episodes 626 to 628. Once you finish that, read One Piece 15th Anniversary Dive to the Grand World, which clarifies Punk Hazard's origins, as well as a ton of new world building information such as the races of the One Piece world, the ranks of different marines, and more. Up until this point, I was able to make a relatively cohesive timeline with all the filler content. Though unfortunately, starting here and for almost the entirety of the rest of the story, the continuity will be wacky as shit with all the temporary members of the crew like Kinemon joining. Anyway, next up is Pirates Warriors 2. I'm going to quote the One Piece wiki here. Unlike the first game, the story mode does not follow the manga, but instead has its own storyline named Dream Story, which sees a 3-way battle between a Pirates Alliance formed by the Straw Hat Pirates and the Whitebeard Pirates, Sakazuki's post-timeskip marine headquarters, and the Great Pirates Alliance founded by the ultimate bosses of the game, Gecko Moria and Marshall D. Teach, along with other past enemies. I would have put this game right after we enter the New World, but there is some Punk Hazard stages, so I just decided to leave it here. Another game is Among Us, this time One Piece Unlimited World Red, a game first released on the 3DS featuring a man named Patrick Redfield, whose companion is a pen that ate a special type of raccoon dog / tanuki devil fruit, which has the ability to clone leaves. Yep, just ordinary leaves into objects, other people from any point in time, yes, they can be deceased, as well as entire islands. Let's mark that down as one of the fruits that should never become canon. Ooh, here's a fun one. Episode 590 of the One Piece anime, which isn't listed on Crunchyroll for whatever reason. I have no idea if this is on the Blu-rays or any other streaming platform, but it's a 1-hour crossover between Toriko, One Piece, and Dragon Ball Z titled, okay, gotta get ready for this one, Dream 9, Toriko, and One Piece and Dragon Ball Z Super Collaboration Special. God, have these people not heard of a comma? Alright, so now we'll be entering into and finishing the entire Dressrosa saga, leaving us at chapter 801 and episode 746. Okay, with the behemoth that is the Dressrosa arc at last conquered, you can probably imagine there's a lot of media to cover. Coinciding with that statement, I need to address the absolute hilarity the crew splitting up causes. Since they split up on Dressrosa, the only way I am able to make this next film, along with any other non-canon story that contains every Straw Hat up to this point, makes somewhat of a lick of sense, is to skip every single episode and chapter until Wano's completion. No! God damn it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Listen, you can just picture it like this. Guilt of Zoro? It's a chump. Luffy doesn't need to be going in Gear 5 to take him down. Oh, also, if we are doing that, then we'd have to create a headcanon why Jinbei would leave the crew again. So if you want, this is an option for you. I won't be mentioning this other timeline again for the remainder of the video, but just remember, this is an option for you. You can skip everything I'm about to tell you and just do it after Wano. But for the sake of chronologicality, I'm just gonna keep going as we are doing it right now. Let's move on to the events as they occur as chronologically as we can get without any huge stretches. Okay, they will still be huge. You're going to have to picture most of this stuff as alternate universes, different timelines. You've seen Steins Gate, you know the dealio. Before that, though, let's cover the stuff that can make sense in this timeline. Starting with a relatively big one. One Piece episode of Sabo makes its appearance. This special depicts Sabo's childhood with Luffy and Ace, the Marineford arc, and his reunion with Luffy and Dressrosa from Sabo's point of view. Succeeding that special in the queue next is Pirates Warriors 3. This one's especially fun because it was released when Dressrosa wasn't completed yet, so we ended up with a game original ending to the Dressrosa arc. I guess that is still a different universe. Damn it! I won't tell you what happens in this new ending, but it's definitely different. Continuing, we arrive at the One Piece quiz book, which you can probably guess is a book with quiz questions about One Piece trivia. 500 of them, in fact, with questions hailing all the way back to chapter 1. Now I really want to see Tekking take this on. Okay, and now once you finish all 500 of those, we've got its sequel. Also, Tatsuru Uchida's got another One Piece strong words for you. Enjoy that. Another treat is Color Walk 7 Tyrannosaurus, covering Oda's color walks from chapters 598 to 700. One Piece Super Grand Battle X is next, released for the 3DS, which looks a lot like One Piece Smash Bros. Also, it's the first One Piece game to feature Don Quixote family members. Do you know Chinese? Do you have a phone? Do you have a Chinese phone? If so, you're in luck. You can play One Piece Set Sail for Android and iOS. Please don't ask me what the hell this game is about, because even I don't know and the wiki can't even tell you. Next, continue the anime for 4 more episodes, leading you into the Silvermine arc, which acts as the first tie-in to Film Gold. Let's succeed that with one of my all-time favorite specials, One Piece Heart of Gold, starring an actually enjoyable child character in the form of Olga. Also, you guys know that notorious One Piece video where Nami and Robin are playing volleyball? That's actually next chronologically. It's called One Piece Film Gold Episode 0. Following that, this can either go before or after its One Piece Volume 777, a special volume for the first 5 million attendees of One Piece Film Gold. It is stated to contain a secret page, whatever the hell that means. It goes over the character designs from the film and creation of the spectacle. And finally, the actual film is here. Enjoy! With that finished, open up your novel adaptation of the film by Tatsuya Hamazaki and read all 244 pages before finally saying your last goodbyes to the Gold Saga. With that completed, you can enjoy some One Piece Burning Blood, but wait! Don't forget to read the entirety of the One Piece Burning Blood battle book, so you're prepared to take on any sad souls who still play that game. Once you're done completing Marineford for the umpteenth time on Burning Blood, return to the canon once again, and complete Zoe, bringing you to chapter 824 and episode 779. Next, get off your ass, leave the house, book a ticket to either Taiwan or Hong Kong, reach either of these addresses, and in front of you there should be a One Piece restaurant.
Hey, Editing Kev here. So, bad news, you actually can't visit these locations anymore. They're both closed. I know, very sad.
Now, pick up your 3DS and insert One Piece Great Pirate Coliseum, a game super similar to Dragon Ball Z Extreme Butoden, if you're familiar with that at all. The games can even apparently connect to each other, and you can fight people with the other game, which I think is pretty wild. I was holding off on you for a while with this one. One Piece Omake, or One Piece Extra, is up. These are most often referred to when discussing the non-canon gag strips that Eiichiro Oda produces outside the regular manga. These come in 3 formats: Yonkoma strips, published in the special issues of Shonen Jump, and in one instance the contemporary databook. These tend to commemorate holidays such as Christmas or New Year's. The multi-page Straw Hat Theater strips we discussed earlier, and single-page art requests. If you've been following up to this point, then you'll probably have seen most of these already, but just in case, here is a list of all of them. Before we jump back to the full canon, let's visit the anime's canon with the Marine Rookie arc, where the Sanji retrieval team sneaks into a marine base to steal some grub. After that bit of lighthearted fun, we're barreling into the tear-jerking Whole Cake Island arc, which spans all the way to chapter 902 and episode 877. Right off the bat, following the successful escape from Big Mom, we have something quite interesting titled This. With one round through Google Translate, though, I have discerned the title of this novel. Maybe. Learning from One Piece, how to create the strongest business... How to create the strongest business team. What is that? What does that mean? I really wish this was translated. I want to see what this is. What is the strongest business team? Moving on. This following entry is genuinely super cool. Special episode Luffy is a 3-chapter what-if storyline regarding what would happen if Sabo rescued Ace and Luffy at Marineford. It ran in the first 3 volumes of the official One Piece magazine, so I'm gonna have you read those right now. Only the first 5 right now. What are the One Piece magazines, though? Well, just imagine a sports magazine or something, but solely One Piece related. Each volume has different articles. A portion of the pages will be art, some will be information, and others quotes from Oda directly, or even summaries and recollections of relevant data we know or something else entirely, like the what-if scenarios or the Boichi one-shot. We'll get to that in a bit, though. Next is East Blue Special, where it abridged all of the original 5's backstories and motivations before meeting up with them again in Wano. I really wish this movie addressed everyone and not just the East Blue members, because then it would be a perfect preparation for the crew's reunion, who haven't been all together since Dressrosa's beginning, I think. After that is another super freaking cool extra bit of content from the One Piece magazine yet again. We take hold of an ordinary person's perspective of the individual members of the Straw Hat crew. For example, one of them is a Marine and older brother inspired by Luffy's actions at Marineford. Another is Zoro in disguise overhearing some dudes at a bar discussing who the strongest swordsman in the world is, with Zoro being in contention. They're called One Piece Novel Straw Hat Stories, authored by Tomohito Osaki, and while first appearing in the One Piece magazines, they were later made into an actual novel, given the name. One Piece Color Walk 8, Wolf, is next, containing the color walks between 2013 to 2015. Read that and follow it up with One Piece Picture Book. Next, continue to volume 333, a free volume distributed to visitors of the One Piece Tower, documenting the theme park's history in addition to an interview between Oda and the band Green, as well as some behind-the-scenes stories. Subsequently, boot up your PS4 and equip that VR headset as you become immersed in One Piece Grand Cruise, an interactive game where you'll tour the Sunny and talk with the crew. Following, you'll be experiencing One Piece Doors, a so far 3-part collection of every single chapter cover excluding color spreads spanning from chapters 2 all the way to chapter 862. So, if you want a recap of Oda's cover stories that, by the way, the anime hardly ever adapts, or you just want to see some goofy fan requests, then this is your stop. Finally, jump back into the canon and complete the absolute feast that is the next 6 chapters or 12 episodes. Okay, Toei, how the hell did you manage to stretch 6 chapters into 12 episodes? How'd you get double? What the hell? This should be 3 episodes. Oh my lord. But anyway, that brings you through the Reverie, which is an absolutely crazy arc, to chapter 908 and episode 889. At this point, you'll have to imagine a rift in space appears, okay? Where all the Straw Hats are transported onto the Sunny somewhere in the New World with all of their memories erased. Well, all their memories of the rift erased, okay? Now that you've done that mental gymnastic, what's next but the Cider Guild arc, a 2-episode tie-in to Stampede spanning episode 895 and 896, so you'll have to skip ahead in the anime for these 2. Then start popping that corn because now you're free to relish in Stampede's greatness. Also, read the book and the special volume, 10,080 1989, documenting some interviews and more so the conception and creation of Stampede. After some reading, we can finally continue into the Wano arc. During so, don't forget you may skip the Cider Guild arc, as well as episode 907, the Romance Dawn one-shot adaptation, if you didn't already go ahead and watch it at the beginning. In any case, we're continuing the Wano arc until episode 1028. Here, I'm going to have you skip episodes 1029 and 1030. Those episodes make up a small tie-in filler arc for Film Red, which we'll be coming back to after Wano's conclusion. Anyway, upon finally reaching chapter 1057 in episode 1085, you can officially say you've completed Wano Country. Now, with the record-breaking length of the longest One Piece arc to date at last fully experienced, we're dropped back into the waters of the New World once more.
I hope you know we're not returning to the canon for a long time. That's 3 years worth of extra content to endure. I mean, enjoy. Let's start with One Piece Water Battle, an interactive children's show held at Universal Studios Japan. Well, actually, I'm unaware if this is still in production because this was last performed in 2019 according to fandom. You know, same thing with the next entries actually, with the One Piece live attraction stage shows. Since Tokyo Tower is now closed down, I'm unsure if these will ever come back, but in any case, watch these pre-recorded. 1. Welcome to Tongari Mystery Tour. 2. One Piece Live Attraction 2. Yeah, that's the name. 3. Phantom. And 4. Marionette. Also, to coincide with the first attraction, watch the animated short dubbed The Great Treasure of Tongari Island. Oh no. Y'all ain't ready for this next one, bro. No! Y'all ain't fucking ready for Chin Piece. Oh, let me just read this out. Chin Piece is a spin-off revolving around a group of village kids led by Kusop, who aspired to be great pirates like the Straw Hat Pirates. They then meet a boy named Chimpy, who resembles Luffy and whose penis can stretch like the pirates. We're really reaching the bottom of the barrel now. The spin-off train continues to chug along with One Piece Kobayama, who looks like Kobe, two-piece in a pod. Yeah, that was the name. That was the actual name. On the website... Oh my god, my hair. You know, let's just fuck it up. It actually looks better. What the hell? Okay. On the website, it actually says this for the premise. The story focuses on Kobayama, a middle school student who heavily resembles a younger Kobe. Does this series even take place in the One Piece universe? Honestly, I don't really know, but I found this guy who wrote a whole page worth of, explanation about the series. One Piece exists within the story, and a lot of characters are aware that Kobe is Kobe from the One Piece story, and other characters are also aware that the other characters are ex-spies? 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 I don't know. From the story, but generally everyone is unaware that they themselves are a character from the story. What the fuck? What the fuck? Okay. The following, volume 794, was literally only accessible during the One Piece X Kyoto event, where it had you exploring Kyoto to discover stamps of all the Straw Hats. Once achieving this feat, you would return to Kyoto City Hall, which had been redesigned as a marine base, and here they'd gift you with a packet of A4 size wanted posters, the most recent ones at the time. I guess that's obvious. Of all the Straw Hats, a card with a QR code on the back leading to a congratulatory message from Eiichiro Oda, and a 10,000 berry bill. Also, all the rewards came in a marine envelope. On the flip side, something you can interact with is Shokugeki no Sanji. Oh my god, I'm hot in this thing. I was gonna do like the whole like, ooh, I'm very calm now. But you know what's in this? It's not coffee. It's Gamers. It's an energy drink. So, this won't work. Anyway, Shokugeki no Sanji, which you can probably discern from the name, is a spin-off with Sanji at the helm created by the Food Wars author, where Sanji gains the cooking orgasm skill, as seen in Food Wars. One Piece Sound Banquet is next, which is apparently an epic musical held at the Tokyo International Forum, but info on this is very sparse, so good luck finding tickets. No need for tickets on this next one though, as you can at last sit down on the couch and enjoy a brand new, well, not brand new anymore, but it was at the time, obviously, special of Sky Island, which is recapping the Skypiea arc. Following that is the One Piece Visual Dictionary, aka the Viver Cards, which is technically classified as a databook, but it's a far cry from its predecessors. What it is a collection of cards that act as information pages. The book itself is in fact a ring binder that allows the organization and categorization of all the cards. Alright, let's get back to gaming, boy, let's go! Only, you can throw this controller out, because all you need is this. It's another one of those really shitty, I think, really shitty mobile games from China. It's only available in China, actually. So good luck doing that. Now you may grab your actual controller, because we're getting a real game in here with One Piece Odyssey. Sorry, not yet. One Piece World Seeker. And don't forget to purchase that guide as well to guide you through and do exactly what the guide says in the game. While we're still in spin-off territory, let's take it to One Piece Party, another comedic manga spin-off, this time drawn by A. Ando. Quoting fandom here, in every chapter, the post-time skip Straw Hats meet up with the new and old characters and have adventures with them. Unlike the main series, there is no overarching plotline, and every chapter is a self-contained gag story. Characters and elements from throughout the manga and movies may appear to be referenced, but many of the stories are original. End quote. Then read the 9th color walk, titled Tiger, covering color spreads between chapter 822 and chapter 928, with chapter 817 and without chapter 863. I don't know, okay. Speaking of those, I bet you have already forgotten how wonderful the other ones are. So I implore you to go ahead and purchase all of the One Piece Color Walk compendiums, released by Viz, sandwiching the color spreads with hardbook covers. Something else in the gaming sphere is Pirate Warriors 4, so you can take a stab at that before sitting down and reading the rest of the volumes from the One Piece magazine. That's right, from volume 6 all the way to 17. Have fun. After that is One Piece Fighting Path, a 3D ARPG mobile game. Another novel from those you just read will be One Piece novel Heroines, which is a lot of slice-of-life stories centering around the female protagonists, or heroines of One Piece. Some such stories like Perona trying to steal Mihawk's booze while him and Zoro spar, Robin eating some soup with the revolutionaries, or Nami buying a new pair of shoes. Something else in the magazines that you'll already have read is the Boichi one-shot where he drew chapters 1 and 2 of the Ace novel, as well as a one-shot titled Roronoa Zoro Falls into the Sea, a chapter that jump-started the One Piece cover comic project. A series of one-shots where other mangaka cover different chapters of One Piece in their own style, with a bit of leeway allowed for creativity. This one follows chapter 51 and 52. Speaking of, part 2 came out not too long after, where Nisekoi's author, Naoshi Komi, created Vivi's Adventure, a remake of chapter 216. He also took it upon himself to draw another version of volume 23's cover, as well as artwork of Vivi and Luffy. I can't get enough of this guy's art style, it's so damn pretty. They're all bunched together here, nothing was really in between these, so I guess I'll keep going. Boichi's back with Nami vs. Khalifa this time. You could probably assume, but is covering chapter 411. For now, that's all we have from the One Piece cover comic project, but who knows, maybe there's more to come. Next up, the final One Piece video game. At the point of recording this video, there might even be another one by the time I'm out, or at least a trailer. But anyway, One Piece Odyssey. I kind of teased it earlier, but One Piece Odyssey, check it out. Before we reach Egghead's shores though, we have one last bit of content to see. That being the Red Saga. Let's start you off with episode 1029 and 1030. A backstory for Utsa and Luffy's past together. Follow that up with the Shanks recap episode, which also has some original scenes, part of it to further tie in the film. Tying us in evermore is Uta's special one-page manga, drawn by Oda himself, which consists of 3 different chapters. Each following chapter illustrates Uta's creation of New Genesis, the world's continuation, and Where the Wind Blows, in that order. Once you've completed that, read up on volume 4 billion. That sounds insane out of context. AKA Volume Red, which includes a storyboard documenting Roger's crew discovering baby Shanks. And with that final bit of setup complete, you may now enjoy One Piece Film Red in all of its glory. And read the novel with the same author as Heroines, along with a new face in Tsutomu Kuraiwa. So this may imply that Tatsuya Hamazaki is actually retiring from doing these film adaptations. Which, dude, you have earned it. You've been doing this since 1999 with Ganzok. Gonzok, I still don't know how to pronounce that. Anyway, let's keep going. Alright, so next up, watch until the newest episode and read until the newest chapter, because now all that's left to do is to catch up to everything that's currently ongoing. Firstly, One Piece in Love, this time revolving around 3 high school students, a young male student, his girlfriend, and a third wheel who is a One Piece fanatic, with each chapter parodying the series. Next spin-off's pretty, interesting. The premise of Fishers x One Piece is a manga about the YouTube group Fishers being transported into the One Piece world. Why not? Okay, why not? And thirdly, there's One Piece School. I don't think I have to tell you what this one entails. Next, pick up your phone. Oh my god, hey! It's me, look, it's me! Anyway, download One Piece Bounty Rush. That is just another dang mobile game. But anyway, you're gonna have to do it. If you don't, you fail this challenge. Sorry. Download and play it for like 1 minute so you can get your free $5 Amazon gift card. That's not real. Don't do that.
Oh yeah, and I guess you can now play the other popular mobile game, One Piece Treasure Cruise.
Next, take your time to enjoy the One Piece live action remake. And speaking of remakes, we have the One Piece remake by Studio Wit. I don't know if this is going to be out by the time I upload this video. It probably will because I'm going to be taking a while in this vid. But in any case, go ahead and tackle that. Now, ain't that poetic? For the last bit of content, we have 2 more remakes. Ain't that just poetic? Listen to every single One Piece character song. And if you haven't already been doing that in order. And once that's done, well, congratulations, you have done it! You have beaten One Piece! Against all odds, you have overcame hurdles, including enduring the East Blue Saga for probably like 50 times. You have basically experienced every movie twice with the novel adaptations. You have submitted yourself to stomach those cash grab Chinese mobile games. My friend, you have won. You have beaten One Piece. And now I ask you this. Was it worth it?
Wait, what about the 4 kids and Odex stuff?
Aw, shit! Well, everyone, thank you for watching. Thank you so much for watching my insane project here. I'm sure, like, no one is going to do this 100% because, honestly, it's probably not even possible. But if anyone completes this absurd challenge that I've created here, then props to you. Props to you. You can get, like, I don't know, how should I end this? This is like my longest video ever, my craziest video ever. I've been working on this for like a year, probably more than a year, because I keep going off and onto it, like I keep recording some and doing another video. But anyway, you've done it. Thank you and congratulations. I don't know what I want to do. If anyone actually completes this, well, you're insane and good job. You were like the One Piece god, okay? You got the title of One Piece god. Oh, I'm definitely going to make a sequel to this video once One Piece concludes. And everyone, have a fantastic day. Have a fantastic week, month, year, rest of your life. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Hopefully, maybe. Please come back. I love you. No, I don't actually love you. Don't get some like parasocial shit going on. Anyway, bye. I just took off the bandana thing. Oh, that's a hairstyle.